This is the Rebel Call channel. Welcome to today's show. Over the years, I've covered the Olympics many times. The opening ceremonies are obviously nothing more than giant pagan rituals or satanic rituals. And a subscriber over on the website, Teresa, who always shares great stuff, as does everybody on the website. They share things with each other, things that I'm able to see and then cover in videos, because I wouldn't see stuff like this unless it was shown to me. So thanks to Teresa, I'm able to do this video. And this is something that was posted on the Olympic Games Twitter account. This is an account that has 6.2 million followers. And of course, what are they posting? They're posting a massive ritual that's being done before the rollout of the Olympics this summer. And you could see that it's a pagan ritual. It's incredible that they're even posting this stuff. But this is what kind of a desensitized society we live in now, where the pagans are actually able to post these types of things. And Christians out there partake in them because they don't even think that there's anything satanic about it. They post Apollo, god of sun, and the idea of light. Send your rays and light the sacred torch for the hospitable city of Paris, and you, Zeus, give peace to all peoples on earth, and wreath the winners of the sacred race. And I will show you this ritual in a second, but keep in mind about sun worship and what they're talking about when they're talking about the light. In this case, they're saying the idea of light, send your rays and light. We hear light used all the time, right? As Christians, we're obviously aware that in John chapter 8, verse 12, it says, when Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. But remember, Lucifer is a deceiver, and his followers believe that Lucifer is in fact the light bearer. Albert Pike teaches to the initiates in Freemasonry. He says, that which we must say to the crowd is we worship a God, but it is not the God that one adores without superstition. To you, sovereign grand inspectors general, we say this, that you may repeat it to the brethren of the 32nd, 31st, and 30th degrees. The Masonic religion should be, by all of us, initiates of the high degrees, maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine. If Lucifer were not God, would Adonai spread false and harmful statements about him? Yes, Lucifer is God. He goes on to say Lucifer is the light bearer, strange and mysterious name to give the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning, is it he who bears the light, and with its splendors intolerable blinds feeble, sensual, or selfish souls? Doubt it not. And before I play you the clip of this ritual, keep in mind that Apollo is the supposed child of the sun to Greeks. And Zeus, who they also mention, who I'll get into after this video, his symbol is the lightning bolt, which we also see in the Bible and are told about Lucifer's fall as lightning. But look at this ritual, and I want you to keep in mind when you watch this, the way that this is being talked about. There's actually commentators commentating on this as if I was watching golf, or you were watching golf or tennis or some sport. They're literally giving a commentary on the ritual. This in the future is what we're going to see normalized. They're going to talk about these rituals out in the open like they're doing right here, as if it's just a normal thing that's occurring and people don't even realize it. Also take note of the people behind during this ritual of the eternal light, that they're all forming a giant X. And I've covered the symbol X many times, and I just put a video up here on YouTube and on the website about X. X is the symbol of Antichrist. It's the symbol of Osiris. You see the celebrities holding the X symbol over their chests all the time. Here is the ritual that they posted on their Twitter account.
Preceding the torch lighting, our priestess will read a poem.
Mater, ο Χρυσοστεφάνων αέθλων, Ολυμπία, δέσποινα Λαθίας, ειν αμάντιες άνδρες, εμπείρις τεκμερώμενοι, παραπηρώνται Διός, αργή κεραύνου, ή την έχει λόγων, ανθρώπων, περιμεωμένων, μεγάλαν αρετάν θυμών λαβήν, των δε μόχθων Απνοάν, Απόλλωνα, Θεέ του ήλιου και της ιδέας του φωτός, έστειλες τις ακτίνες σου και άναψες την ιερή δάδα για τη φιλόξενη πόλη του Παρισιού, και εσύ, Δία, χάρισε ειρήνη σ' όλους τους λαούς της γης και στεφάνωσε τους νικητές του ιερού αγώνα.
So for anyone out there that doesn't think that's a pagan ritual, I mean, you're either kidding yourself or you don't understand how this stuff works. Now, when we hear stuff about Greek gods, they get protected. The ancient mystery religions get protected because they tell us stuff like, it's just, the Romans paid homage to the Mithra, the sun god, and, the Greeks pay homage to Apollo, the child of the sun. But this is all occult worship, and it's being normalized right in front of us. So in the initial post that I showed you, there was mention of Zeus, right? The symbol for Zeus is lightning. The Bible tells us in Luke chapter 10, verses 18 through 19, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Lightning has always been a symbol of Lucifer. The Bible, in fact, continues to tell us in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2, that Satan, Lucifer, is the prince of the power of the air. And this is why we always see lightning used with satanic bands, Harry Potter, satanic groups and organizations, Marilyn Manson. This is an Illuminati occult symbol, and this is the symbol, of course, that depicts Zeus. The other thing to note is the eternal flame. I've covered the eternal flame many times over. This is Lucifer's light. This is Lucifer's flame. It's a flame that means, which should be obvious, eternal, infinite, right? The infinity sign is another symbol that they use. This is an occult symbol. Infinite, rebirth, never ending. This is something that they've used time and time again and continue to use because they believe that they're infinite. And ultimately, the goal is to be infinite and to create their own eternal life here on earth, to never die, right? And the Bible tells us there will be those who seek death and will not be able to find death. This is the ultimate goal of these Satanists, of these Luciferians, is eternal life here on earth through means of technology, which is really the technology of the fallen ones that they plan on normalizing and getting people here on earth to partake in, which I believe, of course, ultimately is the mark of the beast. And the eternal flame is something we see all the time used. The eternal flame, of course, everybody thinks of John F. Kennedy's gravestone with the eternal flame, but you see it in a lot of corporate logos. You see it in Bank of America's logo. That's what the flag is. It's supposed to be an eternal flame. A lot of oil companies, Standard Oil, use it. We've seen it obviously used in movies with ISIS. That's what the logo for Columbia Pictures is, the woman standing with the torch. That's also what the Statue of Liberty, or should I call it what it really is, the Statue of ISIS, is, right? We all think of the eternal flame held at the Statue of Liberty. Nobody thinks any further of it. They're like, yeah, America, Statue of Liberty, right? Of course, the Statue of Liberty was brought over here and erected by Freemasons. Of course, this whole country was founded. Our founding fathers were all Freemasons, so we were really doomed from the start. And that's what the Statue of Liberty really represents. The founding fathers who created this country, all members of secret societies. This country was based off of secret societies and the teachings of secret societies, which, again, is why a lot of people believe that the United States of America is really Mystery Babylon. Now, I'm open to other people's interpretations. I know a lot of people believe that it's the Vatican. A lot of people have a lot of takes on it. I happen to be one person who agrees that America is Mystery Babylon, based on the fact that this country was not yet identified when those scriptures were being written. This country was not discovered necessarily. And of course, this country was based off of and built off of Babylonian teachings. Thus, you have the word Babylon and mystery. So this is something that we need to keep an eye on, is these types of rituals being normalized. And again, to some of you, it might not be new. You might see this and say, well, don't they do the big ceremonies out in the open? Well, they don't usually do these chants and these invocations during these ceremonies out in the open. You usually see them use dance, right? Like the ritual I showed you at CERN, right before, of course, the Hadron Collider went back on, or the commercials that they use at CERN where they do these giant rituals, but everybody thinks they're doing some type of artistic dance expression, right? But now we're actually seeing them perform invocations by doing chants and even speaking in tongues. This stuff will be normalized. It's going to be out in the open. And again, religious freedom, of course, these will be all protected groups. They'll say Christians are conspiracy nuts. Meanwhile, you have the giant X formed right behind this woman, if it is a woman, who's performing this ritual. All of these signs, right? Look at everything mentioned here, talking about Apollo, sun worship, right? The sun god, the son of God. An inverted form of Christianity is really what the occult follows. People out there always bring up zeitgeist. Like, Christians don't realize that they're worshiping the Son, Jesus the Son. They don't understand that these other religions all came after the fact, and they're all inversions of Christianity. They're the opposite of it. But they want you to believe that, Christianity was formed just based off of the same stuff that the Greeks believed. They want you to believe that all these pagan religions are tied into Christianity, but it's not. It's an inversion of Christianity. It's a mockery of Christianity. They believe in Lucifer. Lucifer is the god of this world. The Bible tells us that Lucifer is the god of this world. In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand this message about the glory of Christ, who is the exact likeness of God. And a lot of Christians don't seem to realize that Satan is the god of this world, and God tells us not to be of this world. In 1 John chapter 2, verse 15 through 17, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. The world is of Satan. This world is of Satan. The Bible even tells us this. So when people come and they comment to me, they're like, you're looking at all the wickedness. Look at all the good things. I don't love this world. I am not of this world. Does it sound like I love this world? And most Christians should not be happy with the state of the world because we're in Satan's world and we're watching sin be normalized. We're watching Satanists and sinners influence young children in their behavior. So I constantly try to speak on those things, but those are important Bible verses to understand and to see. A lot of Christians ignore that. They ignore Bible verses that are negative. They ignore things because they don't know how to interpret not to love this world, right? And then in some churches, you hear the preachers talking about not loving this world. Yet 5 minutes later, they'll tell you, they'll tell you about all the good going on in the world. And they'll tell you that, we need to love and donate money to the CIA operation over in Ukraine. I mean, some of the stuff, it just doesn't correlate. But it's important for, that they're saying, but it's important for us to know these things, to know our enemy, to understand that our enemy is always lurking. In 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walketh about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. The Satanists out there believe that Lucifer, again, is the true light bearer. So Christians out there don't seem to understand that when we see all this sun worship and light worship, that it's an inversion of Christianity. That the true beliefs that they have is that Lucifer is the bearer of light. And that's why we see a lot of symbols about eternal flames. I have videos up specifically about the term light. And a lot of you might be new to this stuff. The video is available on the website. And if you go over and you watch that video, you will see how many thousands of songs are about lights. And I've talked about that often. And people are like, I never thought about that. How many songs are called lights, right? Because they believe Lucifer's the light bearer. They don't make songs called light because they turn on the light in their house and they're like, this is awesome that we have lights in our home. Hey, did you light a candle? I did. I love the light that's coming out of it so much that I want to write song after song after song about lights, right? They don't mention in the video anything about Thomas Edison, do they? I don't know. I don't see too many songs. I know Kanye West has all of the lights. That's just one person of many who is a wolf in sheep's clothing, who has deceived Christians, right? He has a song called Lights. It goes, all of the lights. He's not referencing Thomas Edison in his lyrics, okay? He's wearing a shirt that says Thomas Edison on it. He's referencing Lucifer, their light bearer. So this was a pagan ritual. Again, we're going to see more as the Olympics come closer, especially with what we can expect later in the year in 2024 in America with the fake election and everything they have planned for Mystery Babylon here to crumble and fall. But again, to recap what they had posted, Apollo, god of sun, and the idea of light, and of course mentioning Zeus, who is represented as lightning, as Lucifer is lightning fall, and the eternal flame that you saw in that ceremony, that we see used so many other times over and over again. The statue of Isis specifically, the Masonic statue of Isis, the production companies, the corporations that always use the same symbols, right? What do we always see? Eyeballs, pyramids, eternal flames. Don't these people hire, these corporations hire marketing geniuses who are supposed to come up with these real creative ideas, but they all use the same signs and symbols because they're letting you know who they serve and they're letting you know who their master is. And ultimately, their master is the god of this world, Lucifer. I thank Teresa for sharing that on the website. Thank everybody for being here on YouTube. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.